Okay, let's go. So, the plan is simple. Pick up some herbs. Kill some dragons. Maybe as 41 I could be killing these. We will see. We will see. I love the ambience of this zone. Blind weed. Let's go. It's so nice when nobody's around and the server's empty. You can just quest and kill and chill. Somebody's killing these. Hiya. No mage. And he is after them. I'm going to kill the high level dragon kings instead of these. Let me just scout for the herbs. Blind weed. Very nice. Not even sure where these are from. Mail. I have decent amount of stamina. It's nice. It's nice to be beefy. Although I have no plate, no nothing yet. I feel like when I go Feralas, I will be able to get some good stuff. But I need to hit Feralas first. And before I go Feralas, I want to do at least the first couple quests in Swamp of Sorrows. And after Swamp of Sorrows is done, then I'm going to go Dust Swallow Marsh. Because I want the ring. There is a blue ring. Strength and stamina. A good one. Definitely an upgrade. From a quest chain. And honestly, I don't know which quest chain it is. Which quest chain exactly it is. So I'm going to do them all. But right now I'm farming blindly hard. And by farming so much, I might be able to push 300 in just Swamp of Sorrows. Here's my Hearthstone, Stone Art. I'm thinking about putting my Hearthstone I need to check when the buffs are planned for today. Make sure to get the buffs. And then just grind mobs. And I already know what mobs I'm going to grind. Drongo, I will be able to finish the pages. One gold. place can be ready, that's for sure. Can be sketchy because when you start the escort, he goes literally right through the middle of the camp. And there's mobs with imps and stuff, casters. It's a bad place to be. They flee from combat, and some of them even put a debuff on you that within like, I don't know, 60 seconds or something, it spawns some trackers on you. So you get even additional spawns on top of you. Find this escort, Naboru. Finish the crocs. And then I'm gonna go farm up the water. But I want to focus on the crocs and the patrol first. Because when I kill the crocs, I can obviously deliver the quest, which saves me a bit of space. When I kill Naboru, I'm gonna get the quest item that I deliver to the same location as the Draenei's crystals, and the crystals, which I deliver, will free up even more space, and I'm going to hit level 42 just as I go to farm these big dragonkins. And these dragonkins are what? Like 43, maybe even 45. There are some rares in here. Yeah, 43, 44. I don't want to fight 44 at this level, at 41. 3 levels higher is not very healthy. 2 levels higher is definitely way better and more achievable. Okay, so where are you? Mudlurker. What is this? Blindweed. Yes, please. What's on the other side?
Strength and honor. Go forth to victory.
These are always so hard to see in the murky water. But I seem to be quite lucky on these. What's that? Life fruit. 45. Oh, it's a rare. Wait, what? Wait a minute. 6.5k. Rare elite. Hey you, can you swim? $160 damage, that's not bad. Oh, that was bad. Can you swim? No, you cannot swim.
Some. and thunder.
Oh yeah.
Yo! Time is money, friend! Talk to me! Hurry back! What's up? Talk to me! Time is money, friend! Keep it real! What's up? Yo! Talk to me! Time is money, friend! Glad I could help!
What do you need? For the Horde. What can I help you with? Be safe.
Suddenly, the world belongs to a stranger. Suddenly,
Yeah, man. Das Dingo.
The strongest item that nobody used.
Classic World of Warcraft is known for its powerful items, many of which don't actually come from raids or other high-end content, but
Yep.
instead from low-level crafting, drops, or quest rewards.
And that's what's great about World of Warcraft, I think. At least vanilla. The fact that all these things have use case.
Some of these low-level items, like the Druid's Wolf's Head Helm,
Yep.
Magic Dust, or Bag of Marbles, are so strong that they are widely considered to be the best available option, even when compared to max-level items.
It's kind of funny with this bag of marbles. I mean, he's showing it by the graphic, but people in like a lot of guilds are literally like required to keep this bag of marbles all the way to patchwork, because it's like the one thing that can make patchwork a lot easier for progression. You get this item, by the way, from like an Elven Forest quest, and as you guys can see, it increases the target's chance to hit for 25% for 10 seconds. It decreases, sorry. Oh, I couldn't read that. Wow, that was really poorly reading. But it's really funny how like some of those items are just so good for later on.
When compared to max-level items.
That was really, wow.
Even though Classic is based on World of Warcraft's original version, known as Vanilla, or more precisely, patch 1.12, there are still a few very powerful items that once existed in Vanilla, but can't be found in Classic, because they'd either been changed or removed from the original game entirely prior to patch 1.12.
Wait, what? A large robe net renders a target unable to move for 10 seconds, 1 minute cooldown. The large rope net which used to drop from the Defiance Trappers in Westfall is an example of an item that was removed before patch 1.12. Dude, I've never heard about this item. That is actually crazy OP. What? That is insane.
Game entirely prior to patch 1.12. In this video, we'll take a
What?
look at the original version of what is arguably the strongest item in World of Warcraft's history, and how it was used by the game's early player base.
Okay.
This is the story of the strongest item that nobody used.
I don't know if I've
When
heard about
questing in
this.
the Barrens in classic World of Warcraft, Horde players will find 3 oases that stand out against the otherwise dry savanna that makes up the rest of the zone.
Yep.
These are the Stagnant Oasis, the Forgotten Pools, and finally Lushwater Oasis,
Yep.
where they will also find a cave that leads them into the Wailing Caverns, which is the first full-scale dungeon that Horde players will encounter.
Well, full scale. I mean, I guess RFC is also a dungeon, but is it full scale? Yeah, okay.
Players who have the fishing profession can use it to fish in the pools where they have a chance to catch the deviate fish,
Yeah.
which is native to these 4 locations and can't be found anywhere else on Azeroth.
Okay.
The deviate fish is a consumable item that when used will grant 1 of 6 random effects. Healthy Spirit, increasing spirit by 5 for 30 minutes. Invigorate, which instantly heals the user for around 4 to 600
It's a
health.
random one, yeah.
Party Time, a debuff that forces the user to perform random emotes every 10 to 15 seconds with a duration of 2 minutes. Rejuvenation, which heals the player for 45
Hot.
health every 3 seconds, lasting 12 seconds. It can also put them to sleep for 30 seconds or
Yep, that's why it's scary.
shrink their character, reducing size, strength and stamina for 2 minutes.
Okay.
This makes the deviate fish somewhat unique because it's one of the only foods that can backfire and result in harmful effects for the player using it.
It's really cool.
But most classic players don't actually eat the deviate fish itself, instead using it as
Savory.
part of the savory deviate delight cooking recipe, which is a rare drop from NPCs in the Barren Zone.
Okay.
When eaten, savory deviate delight will change the player's appearance, either turning them into a pirate or to a ninja, both
And we can all agree that the pirate is the best transformation out of the two.
with the human character model. Even
But
though
I bet a lot of people don't know about those effects from the normal deviate though, because it is a bit of a thing that people just don't really use it at all.
these 2 buffs don't do anything in terms of combat stats, the item is still regularly farmed by players of all levels, because it's one of only a few items in Classic that lets the player change their character model.
Yeah, like Narkenfarger as well.
What a lot of players don't know is that when World of Warcraft first released in 2004, the Savory Deviate Delight also used to have multiple random effects, just like
Really?
the Deviate fish it was made from. These
This I actually didn't know. I know about the yellow fish, like the deviate fish, but not about this.
were the 2 transformations that still exist in Classic, as well as another transformation called Oops, which turned the player into an ooze for 10 seconds.
What? Wait, that's kind of funny.
It also had a chance to make its user cast Fake Death, which dropped aggro from hostile creatures and made them ignore the player.
What? A 5-minute version of the Hunter's Feigned Death. Wait, that would have been freaking crazy. What?
This was almost identical to the Hunter's Feigned Death ability, with the only exception being that it lasted for 5 minutes instead of 6.
Yeah. An edible
Warriors
Feigned
and
Death.
rogues who consumed the item had a chance to gain Power Surge, which instantly generated 50 rage for warriors or 100 energy for rogues.
Okay, that's crazy. No, that's insane. Have you guys ever heard about this? Because this is the first time I hear about this ever.
The Savory Deviate Delight could also backfire, making its user run in fear for 5 seconds
Cowardice.
and giving them a debuff called Cowardice, which lasted for 10 minutes.
You remember
Cowardice
the
was
ooze?
classified as a magic effect, so it could be dispelled by a priest, paladin or warlock, although this was not really necessary, because the 5-second fear was actually caused by another secondary effect called Runaway, which only procced when Cowardice was first applied and not again during its 10-minute duration.
Okay.
Strangely, Runaway was classified as a buff, so players could end the fear early simply by clicking it off.
Oh, as usual,
The
it's like a
final
cancel
and by
effect.
far strongest effect was Rapid Cast, which reduced cast time by 50% for 2 minutes.
Okay, what were they smoking when they... What? Cuts all cast time in half. I have never heard about this item. Or like, not item, but this like effect from Deviate. They should bring that back. See, I like the idea behind some of these with like the fake feign and the oops and the cowardice and stuff. But having like the rage thing or like the rapid cast is ridiculous though. That's crazy.
This buff affected anything with the cast time, including spells, abilities, and even items, which made it useful for all classes, apart from rogues and warriors.
That's insane.
For classes like the mage or the warlock,
Yeah.
that spent most of their time actively casting, this buff
Imagine you're raiding and people are like spam eating deviates, turning into oozes and getting feared because, oh my god, I gotta get my 2-minute buff. Oh no, you know what it would be? No, if this was in the game, you know what it would be? It would be like, you're in a raid. Okay, everybody eat their deviates now.
Okay, okay, Billy can turn into an ooze. Okay, yeah. Okay, this guy got feared. No, okay, okay, we get all. Okay, 20 out of the 30 people have rapid cast. Let's pull now.
Like, that would be so miserable. Oh, no, that would just be so miserable.
Allowed them to cast twice as many spells, essentially doubling their damage output, assuming they didn't run
Yeah.
out of mana. Rapid
This would have been the most OP thing in the whole game. Yeah.
cast had a duration of 2 minutes, so if a player got the effect in the beginning of a boss fight, it was likely to last for the majority of the encounter. And seeing as the
yeah.
Savory Deviate Delight was usable in combat, players could eat it multiple times during longer boss fights without much risk, because even if the food backfired and feared the player, they could just click on the buff to remove it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
When patch 1.6 released in July of 2005, Savory Deviate Delight was remade, losing all of its effects, apart from the 2 cosmetic buffs that most players know from Classic.
It would have been kind of fun to see the ooze, though. The ooze effect is kind of funny because it's kind of cosmetic, and to a certain degree the feigned death, but that also could be abused very heavily. But yeah, that bloodlust, edible bloodlust is ridiculous.
Blizzard never stated why the random effects were removed, and the change was also never mentioned in any official patch notes,
Never heard about
but
this.
it probably wasn't motivated by the rapid cast effect. Instead, the change was most likely made either to accommodate players who for the most part used the food in hopes of getting either of the 2 transformation effects, or because the item had a history of enabling exploits where
Yeah.
players would go up to a closed gate and then use the item
Classic.
repeatedly until it backfired and feared them through to the other side.
Damn.
Even though Savory Deviate Delight had been one of, if not the strongest item in World of Warcraft's history, players did not use it as part of endgame progression, which might seem surprising through the lens of modern day Classic.
I feel like maybe they just didn't know. Well, I mean, shit, I don't know. That's so many years ago as well.
Where anything that can improve a character's performance is utilized, no matter how small.
Yeah, dude, people actually purchase these. This is the showcase of how ridiculously min-maxy like the gaming community is as a whole now. People will use this consumable, by the way, which is something you find in Teldrassil at like low level that gives you 1 more physical damage. People will farm this and purchase this for gold. Or 1 more physical damage. It's so ridiculous.
The differences. But in the very early days of World of Warcraft, players had different priorities, and the min-max culture around character optimization
Yeah, it's
was not as
different.
developed as it is today, which is what allowed things like the original Savory Deviate Delight to exist in the game for as long as it did.
That was a really interesting video. I have never heard about this before. Yeah, I mean, maybe back in the day, people just... I mean, people were also just less min-maxy, the general, like, gamer, I suppose, back then. But wow, I have never heard about this before. That is really cool. Yeah, thank you for sharing that in the React Discord, actually, Valtran. That's so sick. Check out Turbo Tarson. And check out his YouTube video right there, guys, in the channel, too. What a cool video. Damn. That was really interesting.
Blizzard took the risk to build World of Warcraft when nobody asked for it, and it paid off. It took the world by storm.
Best game ever.
Best game ever.
It felt like at some time of WoW's lifespan, PvP was the heart of the game. Somewhere along the line, that just faded away, that whole excitement.
WoW PvP and dueling and like servers were like so massive. Like you're right. Like I dueled the same guy on my server hundreds of times. His name was Arrow Freaks. He was a gnome mage, and he was way better than me, and I lost. He was our server's best dueler. I remember his name, and I'm 32. Like, let that sink in. I was a child. You know, that's before I started streaming. You know, broke college student like everyone else, just kind of doing my thing. But I wasn't like a gamer yet. So my first love was actually running. From there, I got mononucleosis. I was in the hospital for a while and close to being like GG for a second. When I came back, I couldn't quite run the same. I had to find a new love, and that was World of Warcraft.
So Blizzard calls you tomorrow and says, Czar, Classic Plus is coming out. What's the very first thing you'd focus on?
Classic Andes are gonna hate me for this one.
Camera is rolling. Czar, there's so much we need to talk about today, including Classic Plus, but before we dive into that, I want to hear about your story because you have something going on in your life that is rare. And everybody knows that you're disciplined, you don't curse at all, you're very goal-oriented, you stayed on the top of the WoW section for years, proving that you're an incredible content creator and an influencer. And through all that success, what I liked about you is that you stayed genuine the whole time. You never changed. You were the same friend, checking on everyone and grinding for your goals. So today I'd like to start off by asking, tell us your story from the very beginning.
Savix, what an intro. I feel like you're flattering me a little bit here. I try my best, and I feel like from my perspective, I feel like I'm coming up short all the time. I'm just like stumbling and falling and getting back up and like trying my best. How I got started. We talking about like streaming, WoW. I mean,
from the beginning, like rewinding everything back. Who were you before you became Zari? How did you get so disciplined?
Okay, we're talking childhood stuff here. So
Yeah.
I grew up in Tucson, Arizona. If we're talking discipline, I have to give a lot of credit to my father. My dad instilled that in me when I was very young. He always told me one thing that I can like hear him saying it like over and over and over, and he said, son, you can do anything you set your mind to. And
wow.
I like believed him, and I still believe him, and it's something that's really like rung very true for me throughout my life. And I was like raised that way. It's like I can work for something or put time and energy into something, and eventually I can do really cool things if I put enough energy and effort and focus into that thing. So it's something I really like believe. It's not this like something I would just kind of like say. It's like, oh yeah, you can do whatever you set your mind. It's like, no, it's like truly like believe it and embody it. So yeah, when I was coming up through, being a teenager, 18, I started streaming and I started playing WoW like very seriously, trying to grind rank 1 titles. It wasn't just like, oh, I'm gonna try. It's like, I can do this. I know I can do this. I have to give it my full attention in order to do this. And not everyone had that same belief in me, like maybe other peers or maybe other family members or something like that. But like my dad telling me that when I was so young really, really stuck with me. So I love you, Dad.
Damn, he sounds like an incredible dad.
Yeah, and I funny enough, I actually didn't know he was such an incredible dad until I was older and I realized that not everyone had that. Growing up, I definitely took it for granted. I was like, yeah, it's Dad, and everyone, has probably a similar experience. And I was like very wrong, profoundly wrong about that. And yeah, so now I think now becoming a dad too, I'm like trying to do my best to, fill those shoes. Being disciplined, like getting back to the question, it's always been a part of me since I was very young. And the positive sides are, right, like, you're disciplined, you stick to something, and you can really grind something out and get really good at something, right? That's awesome. The downsides of being maybe overly disciplined is that I become very obsessed with certain things, and I can't like turn that off. Yeah. I am very like, I need to just try to figure this thing out, so I'm very stubborn. I am like, I'm the type of guy that will do the same thing like forever if no one told me that, hey, dude, there's another way to do this, right? And that's no, I'm serious. Like,
no, I know.
Like,
I've known you for so long, and you've done all these challenges and beating every other games, and I see you trying and trying and trying. But I think that's one of your strong keys too.
It like there's positives and negatives to it. Right? You can either love it or hate it, but I've always kind of been this way. Like, so my wife brings out the other side of me. So Shannon, she'll help me seek novelty. It's like, okay, we have been doing the same thing time and time again. Let's go to a new restaurant or take a trip to somewhere we haven't been. When we first started dating, I went to the grocery store that was closest to my house. It was a Fry's grocery store. And it's like, I lived right there. It's right down the street. So I would, always go. And I would buy peanut butter. So like every time we would go, it's like get peanut butter and whatever. And one week we were at the grocery store together and there was no more peanut butter. And I just sat there and I was like, oh no, they're out of peanut butter. We won't have any peanut butter this week.
No
and I was
way.
like, oh, I was like, okay, that's fine. We'll just get it next week. And hopefully they have it next week. And then Shannon's just looking at me like I'm a complete weirdo. Like, what are you talking about? And I was like, I was genuinely confused. I was like, what do you mean? We'll wait it out. Let's have to wait it out. They don't have it. And she's like, there's another grocery store down the street. We can just go to the other store. And I was like, genuinely perplexed that there was another grocery store option that I could go to. Because I'm just like, I never thought about that. I just thought I had to go to the one that was closest to my house. So, like, that's an example of, like stupidly, stubbornly tunnel visioned on, like, my habit. And that's, like, an example of, like, the downsides of, I'm, like, a very habitual guy, so much to the point where I'm going to miss things right in front of me. And Shannon, my other half, kind of brings that out of, like, okay, let's not miss what's right in front of you here. You're like being a little too habitual. So
yeah, no, that's amazing to hear. I'm glad you found your perfect piece. That's so great. I guess my next question is, did you always want to become a gamer, or did you have like different career choices in the past? Like, I also would like to hear how you got introduced to gaming, because I'm pretty sure you used to go outside, play, and all of that before getting like really, really dedicated to WoW.
Okay, well, answer that one first. How I got addicted to gaming. So, I mean, I was a kid, you know, I played like my Game Boy and stuff. I played Pokemon Yellow, Pokemon Blue. Those were fun. But I wasn't like a gamer yet. And then I played RuneScape when RuneScape came out. I loved RuneScape. I got crazy addicted to RuneScape.
99 woodcutting, right?
Yeah, so I thought. Felt like it. Definitely felt like it. But yeah, no, my first love was actually running, and I really liked running. There was something at my school called Milers Club where you would run laps at lunchtime every time at lunch, and you'd get stamps for every lap you ran, and they would like tally them against the whole school. And like my dad told me I could do anything I set my mind to, so I was like, okay, I'll get rank 1 at Milers Club. So I did. I got like top runner at my school. I was like a 3rd grader or something. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, something like that. And it was a big deal for me, right? Because it was the first time in my life where I put energy and effort into something and I saw results from it. Yeah. I was like, cool, my dad was right. Like, if I try and work my best, I can achieve something. Right. So that was like my first initial like feeling of success, I think, as a young kid. And from there, I got mononucleosis as a strand of EBV, Epstein-Barr virus, and I was in the hospital for a while and was like close to being in like GG for a second. It was like real bad. What? Yeah, it's like
damn. I never heard about this for it.
Yeah, so I was out of school for I think a few months. I was in the hospital for a few weeks, I think, and I was just like kind of on my deathbed for a minute there. We pulled through. They did a bunch of tests and they came back negative over and over. And then finally they found out what it was. I got on the right medication and they solved it. But without the medication, I think it was pretty like rough. Damn. Anyway, we made it out, and when I came back, I couldn't quite run the same. I had like a athlete's asthma. So when I started running, I like couldn't breathe. And that was heartbreaking because running was my first love. Right. It's like, and I was getting competitive with it. My coach said a lot of great stuff since I was in middle school at the time, so I had a couple years of running under my belt. I go into middle school, I was like probably one of the best runners at our school as a 6th grader, and I was like getting ready to like be a runner. Like that was my like whole life.
Wow, if that didn't happen, you might have been like running for Olympics or something. Or
I could have been like a completely mediocre runner, probably. Who knows? But maybe it was for the best. I actually have thought about it before. I'm like, maybe it's a good thing I didn't become a runner. Who knows? Anyway, I had to find a new love. And that was World of Warcraft. I told my mom, this was like around, I was playing a lot of RuneScape. I told my mom if she bought me WoW, I would quit RuneScape. So she bought me WoW and I quit RuneScape. That's the story there.
How did you find out about WoW?
I saw it at Office Max. We were at the store and I saw the cover and I was like, oh, that looks good. Yeah, and then I got all of my friends addicted to it too. I was like the guy that got everyone else addicted.
That's hilarious, bro.
Yeah, it was great. Anyway, then yeah, I put my competitive passion more into gaming from that moment on, since I couldn't run at least the same.
Right.
And I still wanted to be competitive in some way, and I kind of just picked up gaming, and that's like that's pretty much the story of like how WoW hooked me, and then from there I started, you know, playing more and more. And then I think you had your first question was something like, when did I know I wanted to be a streamer?
And yeah, if you knew you were gonna be a streamer.
Yeah. So that kind of leads into it is like I was like watching well, I guess before Twitch became a thing, I watched a lot of YouTubers, like gaming YouTubers as a kid. And people, I don't know if you'll know any of these like Call of Duty guys, like Woody's Gamertag, Excalisaur's, Xjaws, CNanners, Hutch, like all of these like early gaming YouTubers that kind of developed basically like gameplay, like talking over gameplay on YouTube.
Right.
And I thought that was the dream job. And so as a young kid, I was like, I want to be a gaming YouTuber. Like that was like my primary like dream goal, is to do that. And then Twitch came out in 2011.
How old were you when you realized that?
Okay, what year was it? Let me Google Modern Warfare 2.
Maybe 2006, 2007, because you did say you were in like 6th grade. WoW came around like 2004. YouTube kind of became big around like 2006-ish. It was like 5 and 6, I'd say.
Yeah, somewhere around there. So Modern Warfare 2 came out in 2009, but that was much later. So yeah, probably like 2007, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah,
so you kind of quickly figured out what you wanted to do and had your mind set on it, and you just grinded for that and got here.
Yeah. I think that's kind of, I didn't realize that at the time, but maybe more of a unique trait that I kind of like. I was like, oh, this is really cool. Let me work on this. But I guess that goes back to my other thing that I was saying earlier, is like, I'm the kind of guy, it's like, all right, I found the peanut butter at the store. I'm just gonna go to this store forever for the rest of my life and get the same peanut butter until I die. So,
well, I think you made it. I think that peanut butter story, in a way, is good because you just stuck out for WoW, and now you're literally the face of WoW, I want to say.
Yeah, it's been a crazy 5 years, man.
Yeah.
So
were your parents always supportive of you wanting to go full time on content creation?
Yeah, I would say they were like pretty supportive, as supportive as parents can be. You know, I think at some degree, especially before I made any money, which was a while, I think they were like, dude, like you need a job. like you need to like figure out how to like pay, like you gotta figure out how to feed yourself, you know. And I'm like 18, it's like, all right, yeah, I guess so. So, you know, that was a part of it. And that's fair, you know, like I said, as supportive as any parents could be. I think that at some points they were nervous for me, which makes sense. Like I went to college and like decided to stream anyway after. I think that's probably like a nerve-wracking thing. And
yeah,
like, you know, I think they were nervous, but they were definitely supportive. So
that's amazing. What were your most difficult times and how did you overcome it throughout your whole like career?
I've had some difficult times. Probably like rock bottom for me was, I mean, like 2 different times come to mind. First time when I was in college, and Warlords of Draenor expansion hit, and I just really didn't like how the game felt in Warlords of Draenor. I was a PvPer, and they made the class that I played just, in my opinion, not very fun. So I was just like, this sucks. Like, crap, my whole career is based off making content for this game, and I'm not really liking it as much as I used to.
Yeah.
But like, I would like to think I'm pretty authentic, so it's like, if I'm not liking it, I'm just gonna quit then. So I did. I quit. I actually stopped playing WoW and WoD for a few months, and I was enjoying, oh gosh, what game was it at the time? It was a phone game that I started streaming for a few months.
You're streaming a phone game?
Yeah. What was it called? The Hog Rider. Oh man, I've had my chat open right now.
Crash. Clash of Clans.
Clash Royale.
Clash Royale.
Yes, that's it.
No
Clash
way.
Royale.
You're streaming that.
I got addicted to it because I was like, wow, isn't great. So then I became like one of the top free-to-play Clash Royale players for like a tiny little bit, you know.
Of course, free-to-play, huh?
Well, free to play because you could spend tens of thousands of dollars and get like all the best stuff.
Right, right.
And I was like, there's a free to play ladder or something. I think you can like look up free to play accounts, and I was like, I want to get
Oh.
like the top free to play account.
Well, I was
you
saying
know?
that because you like solo self-found or like hardcore Iron Man challenge. You wanted to do like a no money, pay to win type of stuff here.
Yeah. I like the idea of like self-found, like building it yourself.
Yeah.
So, I mean, anyway, so for that game, I played that for a while, and then I came back to WoD, and then I ended up quitting again. Like I just like didn't like the expansion much, and it was a rough time to like keep pushing through. I believe it was also around the time of like the whole Nostalrius kind of Project 60 stuff coming up soon, where people were like, we want older WoW back, like we want to start doing that. So I think like early days of that started kind of spinning with like the
it was more like
signatures.
Legion time, I think, right? But you're right, it did like start there and it bled into Legion,
Right,
and
yeah.
then it led into that era.
Right. So I think I started playing like Nostalrius a little bit, and like I was just like, I just don't want like current WoW. That was kind of when that started was WoD.
Yeah.
And anyway, that was just rough. Like my stream didn't do great because I was streaming phone games that I liked, but my community was like, bro, what are you doing? Fair enough.
Yeah.
I think the moral of that story, I think, was I still kind of continued doing things that were true to what I enjoyed. I started putting out some like IRL fitness content because that's when I started getting into fitness too, around that same time, and started putting more energy into like the fitness side of things and my health, and all rough times come to an end at some point. So it was just like a rough period where like, I didn't have like much money to live on, and my stream wasn't doing well, and relationship stuff sucked, and real life, like everything just felt like it sucked for a while, but I kind of just hung in there, and things get better,
Right. You're absolutely
Yeah.
right on that. Things will get better, everyone. It's not always gonna be bad. I had that too, and you actually helped me a big part of it, so I thank you for that. I guess now that you're back in WoW, you've also figured out how to have fun with it, adding like your own challenge, and if you don't like it, you don't stick with it. You like change courses. You're like visiting TBC, trying out Tank Pov, trying out like Blind Samurai stuff, like all of that. I think that's very creative, and great job doing that, man. Is there like any texts you have for any creators if they were to follow your path on being that
Okay.
creative?
Yeah, so for me, I cannot take any credit for this. This is more like how we already chatted about, like with my wife kind of helping me have more novel experiences. And like, so for me, if it was just me in a vacuum, I'd probably be 90 years old playing World of Warcraft arenas, grinding and getting my 150th rank 1 title. You're laughing, but like I'm serious. Like I would probably be grinding my 150th rank 1. I'd probably be like blink CS around the corner, DPK, get own noob. Like that would probably be me.
Still asking for what is it called? Deep freeze.
Yeah.
Oh,
Linka,
man.
why did you take deep
Yeah.
freeze? Like, that would probably be the reality. But since meeting my wife, it's like, okay, trying something new could be good. So the story of trying funny enough, the story of trying hardcore in the first place was even a little more like luck than that, in a sense. I was actually playing arena one day, and rep pallies were so OP that I was like they were like 15-minute games. I couldn't kill them. They were one-shotting everything. It's like running around, just like doing infinite. I was playing like really long games against them. They were unkillable too, best heals in the game, and I got a migraine because there was so much happening. And I woke up the next day and the migraine was still there. And I was like, oh crap, how am I gonna stream? My head hurt so bad. And I was like, you know what? I know. I'll play some hardcore World of Warcraft because that's super chill. I can just relax, talk to the chat, and like, try something new. and that was my first time playing hardcore, so it's almost an accident in a sense. And then yeah, like stream really liked it. I actually had less viewers, you know, than I normally would have playing arena.
Yeah, it's
so
a
some
big
people,
shift.
you know, people didn't like, you know,
Non-PvP.
some people didn't like it. Yeah.
Right.
But I had a lot of fun. So like the next day I was like, I'm actually gonna play again, and I ended up dying, and I was like, I can't. I had like too much of an ego. I'm like, if I died, then I lose. If I get 60, then I win. So I have to like prove that it was just a fluke, right? So then I made a new character that hit 60, doing all like the hardest achievements and stuff, and that's kind of how I got hooked on hardcore. But I guess going back to your question, the novelty for me is what keeps things fresh. So I'm the type of guy that I could do the same thing forever, but I've realized that not only for my sake and improving my own character and improving myself, but for creating good content, you need to do new stuff. And that's what my wife taught me. So that's why I don't give any credit to myself on this one, because it's literally anti-me. But I've tried my best to learn the lesson that providing the same content over and over might not do very well, because other people don't want to watch the same thing forever either. And if you just do the same thing over and over, you just get bored and stale. And then some people listening to this might be like, well, bro, you've been playing WoW forever. Like you're being hypocritical here. And let me answer that. It's like, to answer the question, I'm always trying to come up with a new challenge, right? Like I always, like, there's ultra hardcore. I did like a warrior that I called a barbarian with no t-shirt on, dual wield only. Like, I'm not a warrior, I'm a barbarian. Like, so I'm trying to always put a spin on the same thing versus just doing the same thing. And if I can't find anything that I feel really excited about doing, then I'll play some new games and check out variety. You actually got me into hardcore Minecraft like a few months back, and like that was awesome. So thank you for that.
Yeah, I loved watching it. It was great.
Yeah, just doing new stuff, man. And it's scary and it's out of your comfort zone, and I feel uncomfortable doing it. But I kind of look back and I'm like, yeah, I think trying new stuff is kind of really important, and it keeps things fresh for you and for the community, even though it feels really weird to get out of your comfort zone. So long answer on that one.
All right, amazing. Well, I'm glad to have you as a World of Warcraft content creator and as a good friend. But let's now go into some Classic Plus talk, Czar.
What? Wait, what's that?
Classic Plus, what we're waiting for, my friend. So
I don't know what that is. What's Classic Plus? I haven't heard of it. Weird.
So dream game, man. What are we talking about? So Blizzard calls you tomorrow and says, Czar, Classic Plus is coming out. What's the very first thing you'd focus on? And is there anything you would add to the game? I know there's a lot to pick, man.
Yeah. No, it's a tough question, right? Because it's like, there's a lot of different ways you could take this. I think after playing a lot of RuneScape, one of the things that made itself very apparent very quickly is that RuneScape's community adores that game. And I think the reason they adore the game is because it's part theirs. And it's part theirs because they vote on every single thing that's in that game and every single thing that's not in that game. And the voting booth, you know, it's not a perfect system, but it requires you to have, you know, a certain level of an account, so it stops botters, and it requires like a very high level of approval rate, like 70% or higher, I believe, 75 now, maybe even. And so it has to be this like strong majority to respect the precedent of what got the game there in the first place. And I think this like voting idea of this is our game and we're going to make this game how we want to, and the devs are going to respect the community and build the game that the community wants, right? I think ultimately that's probably the biggest thing I'd want in Classic Plus is have the community shape the future of how Classic World of Warcraft looks. I just want to nod and say that there's gonna come a lot of downsides with this. Like the first is like the community can't agree with it like on anything. So like to me, my answer would be like, okay, great. So now we know that. If you can't agree on anything, then maybe this isn't a good idea at all, right? Like if no one can agree on any change, which isn't true, by the way. Like, look, you already have people agreeing with like no chrono boon or like extended buff limits or like instant mail to altar guildies or whatever. Like there's changes that already are in Classic era that 99% of people like. So I would say like start there, start with the stuff that 99% of people like, and you continue to develop the game over years and years and years and years and cultivate the game the community actually wants to play and that they're voting for. And at first it might not be much, but I think it's like, okay, do you guys want a new raid? It's like, yeah. And then you start building out the game community first. So for me, like that's probably it. I think there's a lot of pushback on it. You know, I think like WoW is a fundamentally different game than a RuneScape, and you can't, you know, there are things that will work in RuneScape and won't work for WoW. But I think like the voting system is a good one. I do want to say this. Blizzard built WoW when no one asked for it. Warcraft 3 was very popular. People really enjoyed it, and no one was like, we want an MMO out of Warcraft 3. Blizzard took the risk to build World of Warcraft when nobody asked for it, and it paid off. It was a risk, and it paid off. It took the world by storm.
The best game ever.
Best game ever, right?
Yeah.
And but the thing is, it's like if you build something that no one asks for and it sucks, now you're just an idiot that built something that no one asked for. But if you build something no one asked for and it's incredible, then you're a genius because you built something no one even knew they wanted and you blew the world, took the world by storm. So it's like, I do want to say this. If the devs are good enough and they're true visionaries and they're doing incredible work, building things that we don't even know we want, then scratch that whole community vote system altogether, let the devs cook, and just sit back, relax, and enjoy. That's in a perfect world. Yes, I would love that. But I don't know if that's the world we live in anymore, right? Like that was...
I do think like a lot of the quality of life players want it, so we could do votes with easy ones at first, and then if they cook crazy ideas that no one asked for, they could just throw that as an option for the community to vote on, right? And another plus side to this is if it ever goes bad, the devs don't have to get all that negative feedback, because anytime the devs put in something like Island Expedition or Tower of Torghast, like they just get crapped on, right? And we saw that happen over. And if they have a voting system, they could be like, hey, you guys voted for this, and we'll take it to account as like a community, right? Like, okay, we actually all voted for that. We were wrong. We should take a different stance next time. And I think that'll help the game shape into a mode where we all can be happy about. And that's a really good one you're pointing out.
I agree with you completely. I think shifting the blame on the community to look in the mirror versus the blame on the WoW, on Blizzard saying like, you guys suck. It's more like we voted for something that turned out to suck, which is a much better outcome, because then Blizzard could say like, well, you voted for it. Right. Now you also can vote it back out, by the way. Right. Like on the next poll, like, okay, maybe this was a mistake. Let's vote it back out. At least you feel like you're in control now. So that would probably be like the single biggest thing. Like my dream Classic Plus, and I know a lot of people are going to disagree with this, but my dream Classic Plus is you pretty much launch Classic Era like RuneScape did, except it has a voting booth, and it's constantly shaping and molding to what the community actually wants. The community is actually playing, and it gets better and better over time, and the players grow and grow over time, and the community is like, this is our project in a sense. Right. And over 5 or 10 years, it's like this beautiful thing that the community built. Oh man! And
who would want to quit?
Yeah, it would be awesome. But like a lot of people would not like that idea, in the sense that like on launch it's really just Classic Era, and so people might be like, oh well, boo, that's not fun, that's not exciting. Like the marketing team would have nothing to run with. Like it's not like a sexy idea, but I think it's like it's a very logical one. It's a very safe one. It's very like. Yeah, and then like I said, if we had the creative visionaries, the perfect devs, maybe it's not necessary, where they just kind of, we just sit back, relax, and play. But yeah, that would be like I think I would like that.
Cool, no, I agree. Next question. What's the biggest mistake Blizzard could make with Classic Plus that would absolutely destroy the game in a few months?
I think this one's easy.
Okay.
The game doesn't feel like Classic. If the game doesn't feel like Classic, it insta dies, right? If it feels like you're playing retail, insta dead, right? Like, so people that played Season of Discovery, some people were like, oh, this just feels like retail, like too many retail abilities or too many retail, you know, like just too many flashy things on the screen, right? If you make the game feel like retail, I think it just kind of insta dies. It's like, oh, this is retail. I've played this. I don't like it. I'm gonna quit. If it feels like classic and it embodies the spirit of classic when you log in, like, yeah, you're in a good spot. But I think right away, if the game feels like retail, forget about it. Like, whole classic community is just like, if Ampy's not playing, if Peo doesn't like, you know, like, if these guys, if the classic Andes are like, this feels like retail, you've messed up big time. Like, that's the biggest thing you'd want to avoid if you're Blizzard.
No, I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
Let's hope for the best, man. Speaking about classic feeling like classic, do you think shrinking the raid sizes would make Classic Plus healthier, or would it destroy what it makes Classic feel classic-y? That's a hard one. Yeah, it's a hard one.
So, I personally don't really like 40-man raids. I know, okay, Classic Andes are gonna hate me for this one, and that's fine. Like, because I kind of agree with you, actually. I hate myself for saying this in a sense, but it's like, 40-man raids are just rough to put together. And I'm saying this my very biased perspective. I'm a streamer. I can actually get 40 people usually, but it's just so much energy and effort and work to get 40 people together. And I know what you're thinking. Like, that's what Classic's about. It's about the friction. It's about that it's not easy to get the raid together. But, like, in Season of Discovery, playing BFD with 10 people, you find 1 or 2 tanks, 2 healers, maybe 3 rest DPS, and you're just in there, and you can just play, and it's still classic. You know, it still feels classic-y, but it's just so much more accessible. Way more people are going to be willing to build a 10-man raid or a 20-man raid, or even a 25-man potentially. 40's tough, you know. It makes me afraid to want to raid lead a Naxxramas, which you could argue is maybe a good thing. Like, if you're afraid to lead it, then don't, and have someone else lead it, like, that wants to, like an Ampy, and because I know Ampy likes 40-man raids, so I could see arguments to both sides. Really, is this something like, so if Blizzard and Classic Plus was like, no, we're gonna stick with 40-man raids, would I be pissed and quit? No, I would play, and I would be like, okay, I respect that. If Blizzard made the raids 20-man like they did in SOD, or even, was it 20? They did like scaling 20 to 40. Yeah. I would be like, cool. Like, maybe I would like that even a little better, because I'm like, okay, it's a bit more accessible for me and my friends, and like, it's a little easier to get into. I can raid lead a little easier. Like, I like that better.
Yeah.
I wouldn't quit one way or another. I don't feel crazy strong to where it's like, this is a deal breaker, but I like 10 or 20-man raids personally.
Okay, cool. What's one thing the classic community thinks they want, but would actually hate it if Blizzard gave it to them?
You think you do,
but you
don't. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I feel like, so this is something that the voting system would like solve instantly, right? Okay. This might be a hot take here. Ascension just launched Koa, Caverns of something. Koa, like their brand new server. What's it called? Koa?
Oh, man, I saw the trailer, but I don't remember it. It was a really good trailer.
I was hearing rumors that you were playing it. I haven't played it, but I heard it's really good.
Yeah, it looked insanely fun. I was foaming in the mouth.
So this might be a hot take for you too then.
Okay.
So I haven't played, so keep that in mind. Don't judge a book by its cover, kids. But from looking at it, everyone seemed so excited that wow, this looks really good, all these new things, classes, this and that. I think one thing that classic community wants that they would actually end up hating is a new class, and especially 20 new classes.
Oh wow.
I think Koa is gonna be an absolute like train wreck in a few months from now. I think it's cool, they have a lot of good ideas, but it's too far from what WoW is. And if I was going to play a private server, I'd go play Turtle WoW, where it feels like WoW, but they just made some changes. 20 new classes is diabolical. That's like a circus. Like, I don't want to play that. But a lot of people are like, saying it looks amazing, maybe including yourself, saying it looks so good. But hot take, I think the community's wrong here. I think if Blizzard puts in 20 new classes to Classic Plus, awful mistake. And I think if they even put in one new class, I think it would be a terrible mistake. Because that one new class is going to be disgustingly OP. Everyone's going to roll it. Then it's going to get nerfed. And then everyone's going to cry. And then it doesn't feel like WoW anymore. Then it's retail. It's like,
right.
Keep the original classes, right? So that's my hot take.
Yeah, I agree with you. Even when I get questioned when people come into my chat saying, "Oh, do you want like a Tinker class or a Necromancer?" I'm like, no. If Classic Plus is coming out, I want them to focus on the classes that exist, because like Red Palace could use some love, Shadow Priest, Boomkins. There's certain classes that are super weak, and I'd rather have them focus on that and give them love before adding any new one. Maybe along in like 5 years, maybe a little bit less, like 4 years. They could enter just like one class, but it shouldn't be now. That's a bad idea. Really bad idea.
Okay, so you actually agree with me. I know you really liked Koa, but yeah, no, I agree. I think like 5 years from now, you know, the community's like, okay, we've played Classic Plus, it's great. Like, let's do our first new class. Maybe even 2.5, 3 years after, but on launch, like, no way, bro. No way should there be a new class. But I think people like kind of like disagree with, and like they're like, no, we want one. It's Classic Plus after all. Like, what do you want? No changes? And it's like, not a new class. Yeah.
I think we got to witness it through every single expansion. Like I always say, oh guys, after WoD, next expansion, PvP's finally gonna be balanced, because you know we get to keep all the same abilities. They're just gonna tweak a little bit, and it's gonna be balanced. But they added like a bunch of new abilities, new spec comes out, new class comes out. It's like, oh wow, the meta's like shifting crazy every time, and it just like breaks the PvP, and it's not fun, like you said in WoD, right?
Yeah, I've actually like thought about this before. When I was quite young, I played like Call of Duty. I was telling you earlier, and I started thinking like Modern Warfare 2 was really good. I liked it a lot. I had a lot of fun. And then Black Ops came out right after, and everyone swapped to Black Ops because it was the new Call of Duty. And I was like, wait, but Modern Warfare 2 is like way better. Why is everyone playing this new one? So I bought it and I started playing, and it just kind of sucked compared to Modern Warfare 2, I thought. And then the next year, you know, another one came out, and then another, and then another, and then another. And then it got me thinking. I was like, wait a minute. What if Call of Duty launches like the best Call of Duty ever? Everyone loves it. Like it's just amazing. They're still going to launch a new one the next year. And they're still going to launch a new one the year after that. And it's going to kill the prior one just because it's the new one. And it's going to continue this way. And I was like, what? Like, Blizzard's like, World of Warcraft's the same way. What if you have the best expansion ever? It's just amazing. Everyone loves it. No matter what, they're going to shake up everything and make a new one in 2 years. Like, we're playing a losing battle here, because even if you stumble upon greatness, you're just going to re-roll everything. And I was thinking about other games historically. You have a game like chess. And chess, I looked it up. There actually was some hot fixes to chess. It's like like 1,000 years ago, they changed some rules here and there.
You looked up hot fixes for chess.
Yeah, like there's actually a couple. If you look it up, I was kind of curious. I was like, have they ever changed the rules? Yeah. They actually have changed the rules of chess a few times, because there was some OP stuff they had to tweak.
Right.
Anyway, but really the game is like kind of genius, and they keep almost everything the same.
Right.
With very small tweaks, and that's I think for like a competitive game. So for like PvP, it like works really well.
Right.
Another competitive game that has done that very well is Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike, for like over 20 years, hasn't changed a ton. Of course they have, right? There's balance changes here and there. There's new maps, but like a lot of it is very similar throughout a very long time. Very, very few changes. Even things like sound tweaks and stuff, they're very careful to change. And I was looking and comparing it to like a bunch of other games, and a lot of games that have stumbled upon something successful are just going to kind of keep things the same largely with very small tweaks. WoW is different in a sense that it's a PvE first game. It's not a PvP first game. Yeah.
Now I don't think that. I love PvP now, but you and I come from like a PvP background, right?
Yeah, I used to think that too, but now I'm like, yeah, maybe it is for the best.
Yeah.
But Yeah, no. So WoW's a PvE first game, and you know they need new content. Without new content, it's gonna get stale and die. So I get it. But for PvP, like the best PvP games. Oh, my other examples were like sports. Like, so chess isn't like a video game either.
Right.
So like sports, like basketball. Basketball is not getting hot fixes on the rules every
Right.
2 years, and you know soccer has a rule set that's just good, and you leave
Right.
it and you let people adapt to that. It's just a good game.
And that's what I
And-
think a lot of WoW people are coping about. Kind of going back to what I said about WoW when I kept telling my chat, next expansion, PvP is gonna be amazing because they're just gonna make small changes and we're gonna have fun. Like it's gonna be balanced. But then like they just added 2 new abilities, new trinkets, new everything, and then it's just like a complete new game, and it dishonors the people that traditionally followed it all the way through. And I loved all your examples, and I guess RuneScape's another example too, where like if you just get good at the clicks and the beats, like Oda Block or Bodhi, Foex, like all of them, their skill stays the same and that never gets shaved off. Whereas in WoW, if we go back into a new expansion, we're lost, it's all right. And we gotta just learn the whole new meta. Whereas in like RuneScape, you could drop it, come back after 5 years, it's still the same, like gear switch, same abilities. And I guess Classic could kind of do something like that. I'm hoping.
Yeah, no, I'm hoping so too. I think like to piggyback on the chess example, like imagine you were hired to come out with. I've talked about this on stream before, but like imagine you were hired to come out with Chess 2, and you're given a year, and you were given 1 year to like make a better game than chess. You know, still the same like pieces for the most part, still like the same idea, but you wanted it to be better. And say you pulled it off. Say like Chess 2, like everyone loved it, and it like took over chess, and it's like holy crap, you did it! Wow, congrats. But then whoever hired you is like, okay, we made a lot of money.
Oh.
Now you're hired to make Chess 3.
Oh no.
You have 1 year. You see what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
It's like
yeah.
it's like
It's
it's like
hard.
okay, and then say somehow you did it again. Chess 3 somehow even better, and this is like Wrath of the Lich King, right?
Oh.
And it's like you somehow pull it off again, and it's like holy crap, you know, we captured lightning in a bottle twice now, or 3 times almost. Like,
Yeah.
and then they're like, okay, wow, we're making a lot of money. Okay, let's do Chess 4 next year, same time. You got this. And I think that's kind of like the trap we're in. Is it's
Yeah.
like, at some point, you have a really good game. You can't just continually reset all the rules, rebuild the whole game over and over and over. No one, that's an impossible task for anyone. It doesn't matter who you are. You have to like, you have to sit there and be like, okay, this is the winning formula. People really enjoy this. You can do small hot fixes and tweaks. Even chess has had those, right? Like, I think maybe even basketball has. I think I might have looked this up a while ago, where they changed the height of the rims or changed the range of the 3-point line or something. I don't. Yeah, that might be. Someone can fact check me there. I think that might be true though.
I get the point
But-
though, like the analogy behind what you're trying to say.
Yeah, like you could have small changes over time, but once you hit that winning formula, it's like reinventing everything every 2 years is like, it's like, come on, like what's going on? Like we already, a lot of people love and like this thing as it is. So anyway, that's my TED talk about all how I feel about that.
Wow. That was great. I like that talk. Thank you. I'm not sure if you've experienced the same childhood as I have, but it felt like at some time of WoW's lifespan, PvP was the heart of the game. Every server had their best duelers. Every raiders that I knew would gear up so that they could PvP with it, or like flex to fight and show it off, right? But somewhere along the line, that just faded away, that whole excitement. Would there be something you would introduce that could kind of bring that hype back? And what do you think happened? Like, what went wrong? I guess you kind of covered it by talking about the chess 1, 2, and 3, but yeah, what could they do to improve this?
All right, I don't want to sound like a doomer here, but so WoW PvP and dueling and like servers were like so massive. Like you're right. Like so in classic WoW, you had your server, you had your duelers. Like I remember dueling. I dueled the same guy on my server hundreds of times. His name was Arrow Freaks. He was a gnome mage, and he was way better than me. And I lost hundreds of duels. And I was the guy that I would just come up and duel him and get my face kicked in over and over and over. And then like one day I beat him. I was like, no way I beat him. It's probably a fluke. It's probably a complete fluke. But it was a big deal because he was our server's best dueler. And I remember his name, and I'm 32.
That's crazy.
He was the best mage on our realm, and I remember his name at 32. Like, let that sink in. I was a child, right? Like, so it really made this profound impact on my life. Like, this guy was a beast, and since then, like okay, like he beat me most of the time, but like I can beat him sometimes, and I started getting better, and then like I became, one of the better duelers on the realm, and that was a big deal, and. Anyway, like, so your question is like, how do you bring that back? And I think there's maybe some things you can do. So to answer your question and at like a surface level, like I think having something like a duelers area where you have PvP cooldowns reset on an island. So if you duel, how great would this be? If you duel, all your cooldowns get reset, so you can just spam duel forever. If you use consumables in the duel, it doesn't actually use them on this island only, so that you can like use bandages and like. You don't have to worry about using nades forever. Like, it would just be the best. But like, so that would own. And like, maybe you even have a brawlers guild where you can like have a ranking of like the duelers and like put it up on like a bulletin board in Orgrimmar, Stormwind with a ranking. So like you have some prestige. Like, so there's ideas, right? There's things you can do.
No, I think giving a goal is good. It's kind of like what you were talking about when you used to run miles, you get a stamp, right? If there's like a reward for it, people will chase it, and anyone would want that, right? So more little bit of like rewards here and there, or like a little board you said, that's a great idea.
Yeah. So like there's things you can do. Now here's my like doomer take.
Okay.
That's like not really answering the question. But so World of Warcraft had like this massive PvP scene and massive player base up until like Kata, and then like there was like a little revival, like so Wrath was massive, Kata kind of faltered.
Wait, did you experience the same thing where like you would search up WoW videos and it was just all PvP montages, like Vertney, Lane Time, all the OGs, and they would have like Drake Dog 5 or 6, and it's like, oh my god, you finally uploaded, right?
Cool.
And later on, like all of them just disappeared. Like PvP just died out. Sadly, so sad.
Okay, so here's my doomer take as to why. In that era, up in that era, there was no massively prominent like fantasy PvP game yet. So League of Legends wasn't out and popularized. There wasn't a real PvP like fantasy option yet. They couldn't play like Wizards. There was Dota 1, right? Like Warcraft 3 mod.
Yeah.
And Dota 2 wasn't out yet. League of Legends wasn't out yet. And I think at some point they did come out, but they were still like in their infancy. So they weren't at scale until like a few years after. So like 2013, 2014. Where things were like, holy crap, this is like the biggest esport in the world. Like, where did this game come from? And anyway, my point is, WoW PvP was so cool because all the PvPers flocked to WoW as this like really cool game that they could duel in, and then arenas came out, and there was this cool competitive scene, and there was like a bunch of tournaments at LANs that like obviously don't happen anymore, and there was tournaments all around the world, and like people were flying to them. Like it was just kind of like this really cool, it was grassroots still, like the tournaments were a lot smaller and stuff, but it was just like this really cool scene. Then League of Legends came out, and when people had an option that was more accessible for PvP, so you didn't have to hit max level. I mean, you still had to level 30, but that's like a lot easier. You didn't have to hit max level in WoW. You didn't have to do raids and quests. You could just kind of like press play. And like Dota 2, same thing. A lot of the PvPers, like a lot of the rank 1 players or gladiators, like would just be like, I'm gonna go play League. I'm gonna go play League. Like if I'm gonna PvP, let's go play a PvP game. And if I'm gonna PvE, like then I'll play WoW. And that doesn't mean like anything on WoW. It's just the time. It was the era. Like so early WoW, all these montages from all these cool guys. Like it was kind of like there was no other PvP game. The internet was still kind of wasn't at scale yet. So like YouTube wasn't really like, live streaming wasn't really like a thing yet. Right. So you were just like clicking refresh on a YouTube video, hoping for this
Oh my
next awesome
goodness.
montage.
Yeah.
But now we have streamers, we have content that comes up daily. You have so many people like streaming and uploading and sharing all these things, and there's more accessible other PvP only games. So it's like
Right.
Legendary Duelers 2026. Who cares? So that's kind of like my doomer take, is that like we live in a different era. We're not in 2004 anymore, and there's other PvP games. So like that's the doomer take. I don't even know if I want to share that one, but I guess we did. And there's stuff they can do to bring it back, like, but it's never going to be the same. Is my point. And we're not going back to 2004.
I think we could start with the duelers area, like you were mentioning. I think that's a great gateway to getting people to duel each other, have fun, be that little czar who duels this guy like a million times. I did the same. Shout outs to Diablos and Jails. I remember all the guys' names in server loadout.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
All the good duelers, I remember them. And my brothers, funny enough that you mentioned the PvP scene, my brothers all quit PvP because they just wanted to play PvP. They didn't want to raid to get that certain item to PvP with, right? So they made a segue to just games that focuses on PvP, since WoW wasn't giving that anymore. And yeah, I guess that's a little sad, but hopefully we see some growth in Classic Plus with some PvP. I really hope it brings it back. And
Yeah, I hope so too. I just you shouted out some names, so I got to shout out Abney too. If you know Avian, Abney,
oh
the
yeah,
RPG.
RPG guy.
Yeah. Yeah, so I dueled Abney. That's how I met him. He was outside of Ironforge, AFK, Relentless Gladiator ABN. And I'm just sitting there like, dang, that's a cool title. So I duel him and get my teeth kicked in, bro. It was brutal. Like, I just got 100 0'd. I was like, wow, this guy's so good. So I dueled him again and got smoked. And I just dueled him probably like hundreds of times. Like, if you ask ABN, he'll remember, like, just hundreds of times, and he just beat me every time. And then same kind of story, like one time I actually beat him, and then I started doing better and better and better. And like same thing with kind of Jamili too. I just spam dueled him, probably annoyed the heck out of him. Sorry if you're watching this. I just like spammed you guys, like duel. I'm the kind of guy, like, I can't get enough of losing. I love I love dueling the same guy 100 times and losing like 99 of them, and then winning that one and being like, oh my gosh, I figured out how to do it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get like discouraged on the loss. I get more like, okay, let's figure this out, you know?
Right.
So yeah, that's how I met ABN, and kind of Jamili too a little bit.
That's cool.
Just annoying them dueling, and they were rank 1s, and I was just like a noob trying to learn.
I guess I'm gonna bring a doomer topic too. I was just having dinner with Bean the other day, and he was telling me, I don't want to name drop, but to me, he's one of the best WoW players I've ever seen. But he kind of wrapped up WoW, and he's like doing a 9 to 5, and I was like, dude, he was that good at WoW. The other day,
rank 1s, and I was just like a noob trying to learn.
I guess I'm gonna bring a doomer topic too. I was just having dinner with Bean the other day, and he was telling me, I don't want to name drop, but to me, he's one of the best WoW players I've ever seen. But he kind of wrapped up WoW, and he's like doing a 9 to 5, and I was like, dude, he was that good at WoW, and like he can't continue PvP is like so sad to me, because in any other games, like shooter games like Shroud, or if you're at that level, I feel like you could play for that game as professionally for that game. But to hear about that was like really sad, and I was like, damn, WoW PvP really like went down, you know? Sucks.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking. I have had the same experience. Like, so Bean was actually my partner I hit rank 1 with for the first time. And he's a legend. Like, so good. So like, I'll always remember the days like hitting rank 1 and just like kill like across UC.
Yeah,
like
so
such a good time. So fun. And another person I feel like that with is Snuts. You know, when Snuts stopped streaming, I almost like, what's the emotion I felt? Like, I just felt wrong.
Yeah.
Like, Snuts is Snuts.
He's so
like,
good.
He's like the best, and he's not playing WoW. Like, this, no, this isn't allowed. Like, he's Snuts. You have to play WoW. Like, you're Snuts, you know? And, and I felt like just weird about it. Like, how is Snuts not playing in tournaments and winning, and like Snuts is doing something else? And honestly, it's taken me like a while to process. It's like, geez, I think about it quite often. That it's like, yeah, but you know, it's
sad though, because like in
it's
RuneScape,
anything.
like you go back and you can have that skill set, but it's like it's sad. Also, shout out to Snuds for kicking my ass like every single game in Shadowlands. Like Reds were OP, so I was at that top ladder. But every time I met him, it's like doing jujitsu. I just feel like every time he grabs, he's gonna snap me, and like every position he's in is like just flawless. I'm like, Jesus, this guy is so good. Like, and to have like Bean and Snuds like go the other route, like I'm like, damn it, wow, what
Yeah.
happened, man?
Yeah, I mean, the reality is like everything, you know, everything kind of comes to an end. Like that, we knew this, you know, it was gonna happen. Like, hey, by the way, if you're still enjoying WoW PvP, I think that's awesome. Like, I'll always have a special place in my heart for it, and I think that's awesome. Like, it's really cool. I still sit there. I mean, 2 weeks ago on stream, I sat on Classic WoW on Season of Discovery Classic, and I just dueled for like 4 hours. Like, I'm still that guy at heart, you know, like I love it. But you know, like it's just it is what it is. You know, people.
No, there is new
people
gen.
get older
There's a
and-
new gen of people rising in WoW. Like people have been following me on Twitter. I look at them and they're like 20 years old, 21 years old. I'm like, and they're all hitting rank ones. And I'm like, oh wow, there is a new generation that are enjoying the new versions of it. Like we changed, or the game changed and we stayed the same. So we might look at it as like different game, but for them, they grew up in that time, so they're enjoying it. And there's like a lot of resurfacing players. So it's not like it's completely what we're saying, right?
Calvish, absolute legend, rogue now. I don't know if you follow AWC now, but he is just destroying it, and it's so cool to see. So shout out to Calvish. Like it's cool to see like new blood in the scene, and I think a lot of like older players they need to make real life decisions. Like I have a family, or I have people that I need to provide for, and like I can't just like stream WoW PvP all the time, even if I want to. And I think that's the decision some people have had to make. Like I love this stuff, but like I can't just do it forever, you know? So anyway, there's like a multitude of things there. I hope Classic Plus does something with like that, but at the end of the day, like, you know, I think at some point, like the writing's on the wall too. And like we will look back and be like, holy crap, though, that was a really good time, you know?
Right. I guess going back to the questions, what do you think Blizzard could do to avoid Classic Plus becoming like a raid log simulator? Because every expansion we play, I don't know if you feel the same, but there's like all these things to do, and then eventually I just start raid logging, and then that's where like the lifespan of WoW trickles down, and people call it like a seasonal game now. Whereas in back then, it felt like I could log on and stay on forever. But we were all bad, and there was no streamer, there was no guide, so we had to figure out everything ourselves, right? But what could they possibly do to keep it going where you're just interested to log in and have something to do?
Okay, so I'll give you the real answer, and then or I'll give you like the face value answer, and then I'll give you the doomer take after. Just like last time.
Sure.
The face value answer is you introduce solo content that's like scalable and difficult. And that way, when you log in, there's always something to kind of like try and do.
Yeah.
Like RuneScape has just like really hard solo content that you could like grind for a very, very long time. And World of Warcraft had like Mage Tower, and then Season of Discovery had like some solo challenge quest lines, like the glasses and stuff that were really fun.
Yeah.
Like so doing stuff like that, like I think is a great option.
Yeah.
Make it challenging and difficult. Give people reasons to log in and make new alts and leveling challenges on those alts. So there's like always something new to do. So that's like the face value answer.
People might say, oh, these streamers have the same answer, but I feel like I agree with everything you said today. And I actually mentioned that a lot too, where they should have something like a tower challenge. Blade and Soul had this and Lost Ark had this. But what Lost Ark did wrong was that you could be heavily juiced out of your mind, meaning you're heavily geared, and you could come in the tower and just blast everything through, right? So what I thought for WoW would be interesting is that when you go in this tower, you're given a crate, 2 crate, and then you have to put in all your gear there. And then you would grab a new gear that they provide you, right? and you can only play with that gear when you go in this tower, so that you're not just overly powered. And then you would go through like these levels with what's provided there, and they give you like consumes to like two limited action potions or one freedom potion, and you got to be smart to use it at right times to beat the bosses. And it's like a mini mage tower, but you're set on your item level, so you can't abuse it with clearing knacks, and you come back and just one shot everything, right? So, and that makes it where it's there's replayability in that too, where anyone at any time could come into Classic Plus and re-experience that whole thing, kind of like how we kill Cyclonian for the Whirlwind Axe, right? I want it to feel like that, where people come in and they get to experience that tower the same way we did, is what I want. Because I don't know if you felt the same with OnlyFans. When Tyler was playing, I got reminded of like all the enjoyment. It's like watching my little brother ride a bicycle, and I get reminded like, oh man, I had that same reaction. And then when he's playing WoW and he's getting his axe or like his Scarlet Monastery helmet, I'm like, oh my god, he's experienced the same thing. It's fun to watch, right? I don't want Classic Plus to lose that. I want it where like anyone could come in and be able to feel that. Where in retail, when you go in, it's like it's all gone, and it's like, oh, there's Chromie that could time machine you, but then there's like 20 different things. Like, bro, where do I go? I'm lost. Like, I wanted to get my fiance to play WoW too, but it's like, oh man, like where do I level? Like everywhere is just, you could go level anywhere else. Like, it's cool that they give you this accessibility to level anywhere you want, and everyone's like, what do you call that? You could go at any level and the monsters scale to you, right? But to me, it's cool. You get to play with your friends at any level, but at the same time, I want Classic Plus to really, really make it replayable. Do you feel the same way in that term?
I completely agree. I think having systems like that, like you mentioned, a tower that you can actually just do and grind and log in and play is awesome. I would love that. I think some of the most successful WoW things have been those challenges like the Mage Tower, where you're stuck on it for hours, kind of like Elden Ring, like an Elden Ring boss, and you just can't do it. You can't do it. You can't do it. And you do it. And you're like, yes, you know, or like I just beat Warcraft 3 on very hard after being a complete noob and never playing. And I was stuck on one mission for like 4 hours and I beat it. And I was like, I just felt so like excited. I was like, yes. So yeah, having stuff like that like is like very important. I do think though, even something like that would then come to an end, or like you would then need to do it on an alt and whatever. So getting to my doomer take.
Oh no. Okay.
I think Classic, and you hinted at this already, I think Classic has always been, I think, sorry, World of Warcraft has always been a raid log simulator. The difference is back in the day, we were bad enough to where we would just be stuck leveling for months and months and months and months and never finish it because we were noobs and didn't know how to speed run it. Now everyone looks up guides and streamers and YouTube and Rested XP, and they hit max level and they're like, well, what do I do? I'm just raid logging. It's like, well, yeah, like back in the day, we were just like level 30 for like 6 months, messing around in like Nomergon and Dead Mines, like running, making friends and chatting. Like that's what we did. Like we weren't just like trying to hit level 60. Like we were like literally just running around having fun.
Yeah.
So I guess my point is WoW has always been a raid log simulator. The difference is now we finish the game sooner, so we get to raid log status sooner. Whereas back then we never finished the game. In TBC, the majority of people never cleared Black Temple or Sunwell. And in Classic WoW, the majority of people never even hit 60. Think about that. Like less than 1% of people, I think, cleared Nax. Like that low of a number. Like very, very few people cleared Nax. Like it was so like most people were just leveling. Like think about that, right? So how do you fix the whole raid log simulator thing? Is like, I think it's first is understanding WoW has always been that way. We're the ones that changed. We complete the game faster. We have the knowledge now to get level 60 and raid like right away. And everyone expects to be able to do that. So there's that. Like, but I think my point is WoW has built itself into the most successful, at least Western MMO ever, probably MMO ever in the world. And they've done it on this model of you get 20 to 40 people together, you hit a raid, you have 5-man dungeons, there's a max level. Like there's a formula that they've followed that has proven to be the most successful formula in any MMO ever. So would I suggest changing it? No. I don't think it's worth risking. Oh, let's just like get away with raiding then, and you know, like since raid logging is a negative thing, like for some people, let's get rid of raiding, or like completely shake it up. Like some people think of they've done stuff like, oh, what about a daily raid lockout, or what about no raid lockouts? What about you could spam stuff as much as you want? And it's like now you're messing with the whole formula of what made WoW great in the first place. And I don't think an overhaul like that is a good idea, because I mean, call me traditional, but if something has built itself into like the greatest MMO of all time, there's probably a reason why, and they probably have like a pretty good framework. So I wouldn't mess with the framework. I would more be like, now raid logging is kind of a thing. If you want to keep it fresh, you add in solo challenges and leveling challenges and like reasons to level alts with those leveling challenges to keep things fresh.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't just like try to redefine the whole game to avoid raid logging at any cost, because that's just like how the game's always been.
No, I completely follow you on that. I guess I want to see if you would agree with this. How RuneScape has it, like we talked about RuneScape, it's very successful. The community really loves the game, and you can see that. What if WoW professions, you could prestige with it? You know how we get to 300 out of 300, that's max, right? But what if you hit prestige, you could go beyond that. So it doesn't do anything or give you any new recipes or anything. It's just like it keeps going up from 300. Now it could go to like 301, 2, 3, up to like 400. And if you kept making like fabs or limited action potions, like you've now leveled it up to like 1,000. 300 is max, but just leveled it up, and then you could just show that off to people like, dude, did you see that Zaryu guy? He crafted 5,000 levels. And it's like, what? And then other people are going to be like, I want to be the number one of that. And then there could be like a website that shows like the top crafters, and that could kind of make it where, you know, people have something to do. It doesn't necessarily change the game. It's just, it feels like you could grind a bit more and have like that title of, I've crafted this much, look at this guy. So like this guy is an engineer and he crafts bombs all the time, or sappers, and he's just at like 7,000 level on engineering, right? And I feel like that could be a good way to introduce crafting to be a little bit fun. Maybe you could get a tabard when you're like 50,000 engineering or something, right? I'm just throwing out numbers, right? What do you think about like that system?
I think it could be okay. I would think it would be more fun and more exciting on self-found than it would be on a normal account, which would mean like self-found being available on non-hardcore realms would be a massively big deal. I think it'd be a huge community that would like love to play a self-found WoW account where you have to like get everything yourself versus just like going to the auction house and farm everything yourself and give you reasons to run around the world and stuff. I think it's awesome. But yeah, so I think in terms of like, okay, so you'd have like your profession level, and then you would have like your like, you can call it like mastery level or something.
Sure.
It'd be like two different numbers. Like, so the professional level is max at 300, and then you have like your mastery that could go on theoretically. Like let's just call it like RuneScape system 1 to 99. 99 being like, whoa.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, like I don't see that being a negative thing. I think most people would probably ignore it, but I think there would be like like almost like a cult following of people that are like, okay, I want to get like all these profs to 99. I think it would also be really cool if self-found accounts could have like
I was just gonna get to that.
Yeah. Like maybe more professions, and you could try to get all of them 99 or something like that. Like, so, but I think this would make more sense on self-found than it would for the game at large. And I also think like, all in all, this is not like, getting back to my point, this is not why WoW is the biggest and most successful MMO of all time, is the crafting. It's because of the world and
Right.
the community and like the raids and bringing people together. So that's where I think RuneScape and WoW are fundamentally different games. Like it works really well with RuneScape because like RuneScape is less about those things in WoW. There's solo raids. They're not like massive. I mean, you can raid with friends too, but it's not like about necessarily raiding with friends. And like it's a lot more about those levels, like your attack level and your strength, your strength level, your defense level, and like getting up all of these different levels, all your different crafts. Like that is the game. And it's also successful in its own right. I don't think these necessarily need to cross-pollinate. I think it could be successful, but I don't think it's like, I don't necessarily know if I'm like, oh, that would be it. It's like, well, that's kind of like what RuneScape has.
Right.
Like, we don't necessarily need to copy that. Like, they're both good in their own way. Like, I have said this, though. I love RuneScape, and I played it as a kid. And if Classic Plus sucks, I think I'm making a brand new Iron Man, bro. I think I'm starting over, making a new Iron Man, and, like, going in scratch. Yeah.
I actually heard from Sardako. He told me, he's like, yo, Sav, Zar says he's going to play if Classic Plus sucks.
Yeah. Well, because my last Iron Man was a group Iron Man. My group quit. And I'm like,
I told you not to group. You called me so many times. I'm like, Zar, do not group with those guys. And you did.
Soda Pop invaded me, man. I was like, this is going to be fun. We'll have a group of Soda and Peekaboo and Vey. And like, this will be sick. And then it's like, it wasn't as sick as I thought. But anyway, hopefully Classic Plus is the best game we've ever played in our lives. And we're playing in the nursing homes. And it's just like, and we're like 90 plus, and we're just like, this is amazing. So that would be the best case scenario. But like, if it does suck, then I might make a new Iron Man, because I do love RuneScape. I like the systems of the game a lot, and I love the voting system. So there's that.
Hey, all right. Well, last question about Classic Plus. What are you most excited about in the upcoming Classic Plus?
I think for me, it's Classic WoW is my favorite video game of all time. Big surprise. It's a continuation of my favorite game of all time. It's like, so it's just the fact that like there's a continuation on that is the coolest thing ever. Like so if you're like a Warcraft 3, Andy, and you loved Warcraft 3 as a kid, and then they made a new Warcraft 3 mission, or they made Warcraft 4, like you would feel similar to me, right? It's like, it's your favorite game ever. Like, I played Project 60 with Soda Pop, and where we like emulated feeling like we were playing classic vanilla. I played Nostalrius, and it's like Classic came out in 2019. I played that, and like I just loved Classic WoW. I love that game. In fact, I was thinking about this, like when I'm like 40 or 50 or 60, I would love to come back and play some classic WoW and do Deadmines, like as I get older. It's like, I don't think that'll ever get old. Like, I think I would love to come back and like do that. Just like Quest in Westfall, like, how cool, how fun. So it's really just the whole thing. I think the whole thing that it embodies is a continuation of like my childhood favorite game, my favorite game of all time,
Cool. That's awesome to hear. Hopefully they treat the veterans that waited their whole life for this well, and the game goes good. I want to finish off the podcast with some speed questions. You ready for them? Or you want to like take a break, use the bathroom, drink water?
I'm ready.
Okay. What motivated you to keep trying? Because many creators feel stuck or burnt out.
Yeah, there was a lot of points where I was like, I feel like I might, want to give up. But I think for me, it's like I wanted to give it my all. And if I failed, then I could say I tried, versus not trying at all and having the regret in my mind that what if I would have tried harder? What if I would have given it my all? What if I would have tried, would this have worked? And I didn't want to live the rest of my life thinking, what if? I wanted to give it my absolute all, and if I failed, then I could at least not say what if. I'd say, no, I tried. I tried, I gave it my all, and like, it wasn't meant to be, and I'll try something else, and then I'll do something else with my all, right? But I think that's what was like ringing true in the back of my mind. It's like, I have to at least go all in, at least, you know, try my absolute hardest, and if it works out, then like awesome, and if it doesn't, then I won't have to I won't have to wonder what if.
Did you ever feel like as if it would not work, or did you always know that you would make it when you got into content creation?
No, there was definitely times where I was like, I don't know. I actually still sometimes think like, why do people watch me? Like, I'm not that interesting compared to some great creators. Like,
What are you saying? You're one of the most genuine guys. I think that's why you're popular. You're like true to yourself, same, stays out of trouble, no drama, and just a good personality.
Well, I think what I mean by that is like, I'm 32. I'm not like this like young, like out there entertainer anymore. Like, people do the craziest stuff that's hilarious for content. Like Jinxie and Ronaldo were doing duo hardcore Minecraft speedruns where they were filming themselves 24 hours a day and like sleeping in the same bed. Like, just doing like the most absolute like crazy stuff. Like that's content, let's be honest. Like, hundreds of thousands of viewers. It's like, well, yeah, like no wonder. This is hilarious. I don't know. Like, I compare myself to that or something, and I'm just like, I am not that interesting. Like, I am not. And
no,
I'm also
you're
not gonna
cutting yourself too much here.
I'm also not gonna sleep in the same bed as someone for content. but like, hey, I respect it. Like, hey, I've been in my 20s before where it's like, I don't care, bro. I'm just gonna do whatever. So like, I get it totally. But anyway, like, I don't know. Yeah, no, there's totally times I've thought about that.
Okay.
But I didn't want to ask the what if, and so I really wanted to give it my all before stopping, and things worked out. So I, you know, a little bit of luck involved too, I would say, for sure.
Amazing. Any tips for new creators wanting to make content for WoW?
You have to get into it for the love of it. I think you could agree. I think any WoW creator would agree. Probably like on their first year, you would make more money doing anything else. And I wish people talked about this more. Actually, Ludwig at Streamer University exposed it a little bit. If you're in the top like 10,000 streamers on Twitch, like in that like very high threshold, you're still making what, I don't know what Ludwig said. It was like less than minimum wage, right? Like, and that's the top.
Yeah.
So like, if you're a partner, you're making like nothing compared to like if you did anything else. So my point is, and then let me be clear, at the very, very top, people are doing very, very well. Just like anything else, like Pareto principle. At the very top, it's very top heavy. And like if you're XQC or, you know, these guys like Jinxie, like these guys, 50,000 viewers, like yeah, you're set, right? That's not the point. The point is like, if you're not the actual top guy. Anyway, with World of Warcraft or like any type of content creation, it has to be like, I just love this stuff. Like for me, like as a kid, I wanted to do it, right? It's that childlike spark of like, this is fun and I want to do this because I like doing it. And it probably should start from that position. If it starts anywhere of like, I want to make money, like you're pretty screwed because like, I mean, I don't know about you, bro, but like my first year or my first few months, like I made $0. Like it was nothing. It was pennies, right? Like, so
I made $365.80 in 1 year with YouTube. That's how bad it was.
Sounds about right. And that's like, I'm sure like any other content creator could tell you something very similar.
Yeah.
So, and that's like a year of like thinking and like trying to like do some type of content and like piecing things together. And it's like literal like pennies an hour. Like we're talking minimum wage would be like, you know, versus like pennies per hour. So if that sounds appealing to you, then go for it, man. Yes, do it. And I'm so happy Ludwig exposed this and talked about it, because like I've been saying this for a while, but like having someone like much larger like saying it is like cool, because like, okay, nice, like that's the reality. So
yeah, people could,
if that sounds fun and exciting, where you make nothing for potentially many years, like then go for it. You know, if it's a true passion. But if it's anything besides that, then like probably better luck. You'd make more working at McDonald's, that's for sure. So. Like your first year.
Yeah. But I guess the positive side is that you're being able to pursue your passion, make content for other people to see, and you're like building your brand a bit. So it is an investment, and you might make nothing in the beginning, but if you are consistent, you show up on time and disciplined like Czar, you're gonna make it. You will. Anyone that keeps trying, like your peanut butter story, if you just keep trying on that one thing, you'll get it, man. You will. But don't be stuck on that. You gotta have that novelty story too. If it's not working, you gotta upgrade and change, obviously, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think like for me, like if streaming wouldn't have worked for me, I would have like then really tried to build and do something else, and but given it like a solid effort, and then if that didn't work, then move on to something else. I think for me, like in my head, I graduated from college in 2016. I think I was gonna give myself, I can't remember exactly. I think it was like till 2018. It's like 2 years of full time, and like reassess. And if things were really just like not going well, I had maybe some other opportunities I would pursue. Right. So it wasn't just gonna be like, well, I'm gonna sink in like 10 years. It's like, okay, I'll give this a solid effort, and if not, like then shift and like try to find something else that I really enjoy. So I think like there's like being realistic too, but yeah, for me, yeah, things shaped up in a way I could have never imagined. So it's pretty nuts.
Awesome, man. Do you ever think about life beyond content creation, or are you planning to raid Molten Core until you're in your nursing home?
I want to raid Molten Core at 90 with Peo, you, Ampy, like we get Guzu in there and Joker. Who pulled? And it's like, loot the core hounds. Like, and it's like, dude, another Thunder Fury, nice.
Oh my goodness.
No, I'm kind of kidding. I do think.
I thought you were for reals.
I know, I do think doing that would be fun, but I don't know about playing the entire time up to that point.
Yeah.
All right. I think a 90-year family reunion would be sick though.
One last raid.
Yeah, that's right. I actually had like that experience with my one last arena game. It was
oh man.
That was a crazy experience. I was like playing arena and playing with my arena partners, Oz and Envioso. We got rank 1 together multiple times, and I told them like, I have something to tell you guys at the end of the session, and I knew it was my last arena session I was ever gonna play, and because I was retiring, and because my wife was pregnant with my son, and I didn't want to be up like until midnight gaming anymore. I was like, I'm gonna get more on like normal hours, because once the baby's here, I want to be a little more like responsible with my time and stuff like that. So I need to just like kind of lock in on these normal hours. So anyway, I made that decision when I think she was like 6 months pregnant or 3 months pregnant or something. And anyway, I was queuing this last arena session with my friends, and we won the last game, and I cried. I'll say it. I cried. I was like, as crazy. It's like all those years of gaming. It's like all kind of just ended right there. And then
no, I think
I told them that.
I think anyone that played games competitively will understand why you would shed a tear for that, because it's like you're putting up your champion's belt, like you're putting up your sword and you're saying goodbye to it and thank you for serving me, and I had an amazing time. It was probably like that for your mage. It's like I saw you park your mage, you retired him in like a nice beach, right? And I was like,
that was right after that story on that last arena game. I flew my mage over to a beach.
Yeah.
And I logged out. I haven't really logged in much since. It's like a couple 3.5 years ago or something. And he's just kind of sitting there on the beach, retired. I haven't played him in 2 expansions. That's my main mage.
Yeah.
And hundreds of days played. And
when I saw that, my heart sunk a little bit. I was like, damn. I could understand how that would feel, especially like you with all those titles and everything, right? It's hard to get that up. It's hard because there's so many arena players that just keeps chasing it because they love it for the game, right? But to be able to be in your position,
arena. Yeah, I love arena, but I was never the player that like could just accidentally just like just owning tournaments and this and that. It's like for me, it took a level of commitment and a level of effort that I wasn't willing to continue to put in, especially like being a father. It takes a level of like mastery and level of you kind of always have to have your brain on like thinking about the game and thinking about what could I have done better and thinking like always it kind of consumed me.
Yeah.
So for me, I was like,
Yeah.
I don't want to always be like that. So I actually told myself I was going to retire at 10 rank 1 titles. And then
You couldn't do it. You
11th
had to get one more.
the 11th one came around and I was like, okay, I'll get 11 then. And then I told my parents, I was like, I think I'm going to retire at 12. And then 13 and then 14. And then like my parents kept making fun of me because they're like, you said you were going to retire at 10 rank 1s. And I was like, okay, I'll retire at 15. That's a nice number. And then it was 16 and then 17 and then 18. I actually don't know how many I have. I think it might be 20 or 19 or something. And eventually I was just like, enough is enough.
Yeah.
I don't need another
Yeah.
one.
I think
and then
you've proved it to yourself too that if you wanted to, you could put in that effort and get it. It's just like it's time to stop now and put your marbles into a different bag because you won in that life. You won, and everyone knows that you're an amazing mage.
Yeah. And we actually do have the trolls come in and say like, I'm super washed up and I couldn't do it again. And I'm like,
No, if you want to do it, I think you could do it still. Yeah, there's just no way.
Yeah, but you know, I think eventually it's like that first rank 1 was fun. It was cool. It was exciting.
Yeah.
The second one, kind of the same thing. You know, is whatever. And third, and then fourth, and fifth, dwindling, and then 10th. It's like it's just a chore.
It is.
You know, the 11th is a chore. 12th is like I have to do this again because like I don't want to not get it. And then but once you get close to 20, it's like it's just almost miserable. I log in, I get the title, and it's like I don't even feel anything. It's like that's not a good position to be in.
Yeah.
You know? So that's when it was like, okay, it's time. You know.
Wow, what a story. How has it been being a father? How's fatherhood?
It's incredible. I would highly recommend one day Sevix. Like
No,
it
I'm
changes
excited.
everything. Yeah, it's it changes everything. It changes your perspective on everything. Everything isn't what's the best decision for me or what's the best decision for me and my wife. It's like what's the best decision for my family. You know, and when you ask that question, you get much different answers, and it changes your perspective on every little thing because it's you're living life through a much different lens, which is rad. It's really cool. And then that little guy has like just teaches you so much, right? It changes your perspective on everything. So it's like, holy moly, like you know, you're learning alongside with them, and you're teaching them. It's the coolest thing. It's the coolest thing, but you can't really explain it till you like when I feel like it's hard to explain when you know it's like we're trying to explain someone like what the third dimension is if they're living in 2. It's like I don't know, it's just kind of it's a great feeling though. It's great. It's really cool.
Dude, that is so cool. I can't wait. One of these days, your son will probably stumble upon this video, maybe 10 years, 20 years from now. Is there anything you'd like to tell him or a piece of advice you want to give him?
And it's crazy to think that one day, like, all of these conversations will still be on YouTube, unless YouTube goes offline or something. But that, you know, like, assuming it's all still here. It's like, I can go back and watch my dad at 32, you know, watching a video of him. But, like, Kai will be able to.
Right.
That's nuts.
We're living a good time.
Yeah. Take it. I'm gonna try not to cry. Gosh. Oh, I'm a soft.
Take your time. No, this is. I would be emotional too.
I'll I would say that I would end this the same way we started it, right? And I would tell him the same thing my dad told me. I would say, Kai, you can do anything you set your mind to, son. That is some of the best advice that my dad gave me. That it might not seem like it, but you know, no matter what, you put your mind to something, you focus long enough, you can do it, and actually believe that you can do it. So
I love that.
that's what I would tell him.
I
Yeah.
love that. He's gonna be the coolest guy. He's gonna achieve everything. You're gonna raise the best son. I already know it, man.
He's a good little guy, man. He's a handful. He's turning 3 in November, so he's
Wow,
running around.
congrats.
He loves trucks and
He's in
he's a
that car
good-
era, huh?
Oh man, he was just laying in the playroom earlier today. And if he's watching this still one day when he's like 20, he was laying in the playroom earlier today, and I was laying there with him, and he was just saying, "I love trucks." It's just like he's just so obsessed. He just loves them. Yeah, it's great, man.
Awesome, man. If you could choose 1 to 2 accomplishments, what are you most proud of?
Uh, somehow landing my wife. She's the best. I don't know how that happened.
Wow.
Yeah, that's wild.
You
Yeah,
told me a
someone in the
little
chat,
bit,
like
right? You
someone
went
in the
into
chat,
journey.
like a few years back, was like, "Czar, how did you get a girl like Shannon?" I was like, "Yeah, I don't know, bro. She's great. She's great. Like, I think she like single-handedly like helped like my stream didn't start doing really well till I met Shannon, right? And I think my life in general like turned around a lot when I met Shannon. I think like I think sometimes as men we have this like opportunity to rise up when the right woman is there, and she's like, "All right, I'm gonna call you to be the best you can be." And before that, you might not have a reason to, or you're feeling lazy to, but now you're like, "Holy crap, I need to rise up because like I can do this, and like I have these shoes to fill, and like I can actually be this person." But it takes that right person to bring you
Yeah.
up, and she was that for me. So I talked about Shannon all the time on
I
stream
love
and
it.
stuff. So
I love
people are
it.
probably annoyed of it, but
No. I don't think anyone is annoyed of that. I actually, whenever I hear it, I'm like, man, I'm so happy for Czar that he found the right person and that she's like just lifting you up and supporting you in everything you do, right?
right, like, that's how it feels. So I hope it's mutual, where I'm helping her in the same ways. I think it is. I hope.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, she
Where
loves you that
it's
much
mutual.
to be able to help you. Yeah, I
Right,
believe
right.
so.
I guess personal achievements though. I mean, I really think I'm really proud of what I've built with the stream and the community. It's really cool. I remember I wanted to start streaming because of Recful and Duck Sauce. Those are like 2 of the OG streamers that I watched before I started streaming, and I always thought it was cool that they could just turn the stream on and have a bunch of people to talk to and play their favorite game and talk alongside it. And it's much like Recful was a rank 1 WoW player, but for me it was more about like him just chilling and talking with the chat.
Yeah.
And Duck Sauce wasn't a rank 1 player, but he just chilled and talked to the chat and like farmed a mount. It doesn't matter what you're doing in the game. It's more about like you tune in every day to watch someone play your favorite game and chat. And I just thought it was so cool. And I was like, I want to do that one, someday. And I started like 6 months after them, or like a year after them. I started in like 2012. I think they started in like 2011 or something. And yeah, I think I'm pretty proud of that. Like I took a long time to get there. I think for a long time I streamed and I lost focus of that goal. I streamed as an excuse to play video games. And I think a lot of streamers can relate. I think a lot of streamers might need to hear this, that are you streaming because you want to chat and build a community and create content? Or are you streaming as an excuse to play video games for 12 hours a day? Because they're very different. And I think, for a while there, I think it was more as an excuse for me to play video games 12 hours a day so I could grind more rank 1 titles. And that was kind of like the whole entirety of my existence. And I think at one point I was like, wait a minute. I fell in love with streaming, and I wanted to start streaming in the first place because of Duck Sauce or Recful and the way they chatted with their communities. like, why don't I do that? And I rekindled my excitement for that like maybe 5 years ago when I started doing New World and some variety and then a hardcore WoW. And like I said, I almost fell into it. It was almost like a little happy accident. And I think that was kind of like a big deal. Like that kind of helped shape things. So I'd say that building the stream.
So meeting your wife and having that community.
Oh, man, I'm trying to think now that you're putting me on the spot. Like I'm like so there's like my son. That's not really like an achieve. Like, I mean,
That is
never
one of your
mind.
greatest
Never-
achievements,
never
right? Malachi, stop watching.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, there might be others if I thought about it. I'm sure there's others. I like rank 1 titles, I guess, are cool, but
Yeah.
you know, that was a fun time. And like there's tournaments and this and that. But yeah, no, I'd say like that. Like that's where a lot of it's like I feel like I've had some impact, and I guess like the conversations we've had on stream, and then people come back saying like, oh, you've had some impact in my life because you helped me through a hard time, or you know, I got your cookbook or your fitness program and lost weight and now I'm feeling healthier, or like stories like that where the content I'm putting out is helping other people in some way. And I think ultimately that's what brings purpose to people's lives, is you have some type of passion or some type of gift or something that you're good at, and maybe hopefully you even enjoy that thing to some degree, and you can help other people in the process, and other people are then thankful for it, and maybe they have something that they can help you with because they have a different gift than you, and then you're helping each other, and like that's what creates a fulfilling life, in my opinion. I actually read some Tolstoy. He has a book called A Confession, and he talks about this, that like doing something and helping other people in some capacity. He talks about like with your hands, but like creating something that is going to help someone else creates a fulfilling life. And I think for me, that's been really true. I think those are like the biggest moments for me, is trying to put out a piece of content that somehow someone else on the other side of the planet enjoys, and then they say, hey man, I enjoyed it. And
Right.
I think that's really big for me.
That is why I admire you and the community loves you, is because I thought that I was doing good in being like trying to show kindness and share loot in guilds and whatnot, and I feel like you've beaten me and surpassed me in that level, and I think that's why you're like really popular, because you stay good, and I really like that. And you being good trickles the community down to learn that same good, and the whole WoW section, if it could have like a similar interest and that kindness that we could share, I think it'll help shape. I know it sounds stupid, but shape the world to become a better place. Like, because outside of gamer, we have like real lives, right? And if you show them like kindness and generosity and teaching them good values and all that, and you being a good husband, they're gonna learn that and see that and wanna seek things that you have too, right? Like meeting a good person and being kind to others and teaching others, helping them when they're in bad times, like calling their friends, checking them on them. And I think that's why I really, really like you. And I'm very happy you're like at the top of the WoW section, because I have some friends or like other YouTubers or streamers where they're like, oh man, I hate that streamer, and like I should be up there and whatnot, right? But I have like nothing with all my friends in WoW, and I'm happy about like all the top WoW streamers, and I hope it continues to be that way, where it's like people are showing kindness and sharing good values.
Hey man, you're flattering me. I appreciate it. Like I said, I try my best, and then I always come up short, and I like say something and I'm like, that was stupid, you know. So I'm a human, man. Like
No,
I'm, like,
there's
always
days
just
where I
like,
regret
"Oh."
saying something too.
Yeah, I was like, that
Yeah.
was dumb.
Yeah.
You know, that's pretty much almost every day it feels like. But yeah, no, dude, seriously, like people ask me, they're like, hey, Zara, I like your stream. Who should I check out? And I'm like, if you like my vibe, definitely check out Savix, and then Guzu, I usually say too.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I think we all have like kind of like that similar kind of style where it's like, just chill and just talk to the chat and like have a good time. So
Right.
I think we all kind of like, you know, make each other
Inspire
like rise
each
up
other,
and
yeah.
inspire each other. Like you and Guzu are the reason I tried hardcore too, because I saw you guys having so much fun.
Yeah.
So
I'm so happy you got it, man. You actually carried the scene. So we gotta thank you. No, I'm serious.
I
Like,
don't know, but
some creators get mad saying like, "Oh, he's taking my slot of my time," but I think you coming in, you helped build a hype around like the hardcore community and more of the classic. Because if there's like no classic community or creators, I think that does impact like the popularity of the game and whatnot. So I think big credits to you, man. I'm happy you joined the classic and had fun with it, and now you're like studying all the philosophy. You're reacting to like every single detail and trying to be on par with what the community wants, and that's like the best thing you could do for the WoW community. And I guess
Well-
that goes to say to the next question: do you think you ever misunderstood?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, there's this Wittgenstein is a book called Philosophical Investigations, and he talks about human beings. A lot of their miscommunications are just because of the limitations of language and us not being able to say exactly what we mean, or even if we try to say exactly what we mean, there's maybe not a word that encapsulates exactly how we feel. So it's like impossible to say exactly what we mean. And I learned this back in college a little bit. I was like, man, that's really interesting, right? And I think I try to speak in using the language that like explains how I'm feeling to the best of my ability. And I think I always kind of come up short where someone's like, well, you know, you didn't like say it like exactly like that. So I'm kind of like trying to be very careful with my speech, especially these last few years of like trying to say exactly what I mean. And my wife will call me out too because I'll use like the wrong word, and I'm like, okay, you're right. Like I need to be more careful here. I like need to say exactly what I mean. But yeah, like so here is like a silly example. I'll say something along the lines of like, oh man, I wish mages had deep freeze. And a lot of the community translates that. They don't hear I want deep freeze. They hear I want mages to be overpowered. They don't think of I want the utility of a stun, even if that comes at the cost of giving up something else. They hear I want mages to be overpowered. So like that's like a classic one.
Right.
I do want deep freeze for mages, but I don't want them to be overpowered. I want everything to feel like good and balanced and fun. Right? Because if mage is overpowered, then everyone plays a mage, the meta sucks. Like that, like no one wants that, including myself.
Yeah.
But so like that's like a silly one. But like to be very precise with my language, I could say something like, man, I would love mages to have deep freeze and lose damage and return so that things are balanced out. Like if I wanted to be like very articulate, right?
Right.
So like something like that as an example. But yeah, I don't know. I'm very like a quiet. Like if I'm not streaming, I'm usually just kind of like if you met me in real life, I would probably not be a yapper. I would be okay. If you're my friend, I'm yapping your ear off. So like Savix, you're my friend. Like if I meet you in real life, I'm gonna yap your ear off.
Yeah.
But if I'm in a group of people I don't know, I'll probably just sit there and listen. Or if I'm even like with my whole family or something, I'll probably just kind of sit there and listen. Like I'm not gonna like if there's a big room of people, like, I probably won't be talking. Right? I'm just gonna kind of chill, sit there. And I think people maybe have these ideas of these personas of streamers that they're like, it's like these like crazy energetic like out there. It's like, dude, no, like no, I mean, at least I'm not like just gonna basically chill all the time unless you're like a friend of mine.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah.
I hope that gives a clearer perspective on the people. No, you're right. Like I've hung out with Guzu, Joker, like every streamer I met, they're not like super yat mode, but they have that because they want to bring that energy and make people entertain and have fun and like talk about things, right? Because if you're not saying anything, you're just playing the game. It's like, what are you doing, right? So yeah, I'm pretty similar with you in that case.
Yeah.
And hopefully people don't misunderstand you. I do think you're so much better than like me or.
Dude,
I'm gonna name drop like Peyo.
Bro.
Like we like let things out sometimes. If I see something I hard disagree on, I can be kind of mean. And
Dude,
I think
do not use the word better. We're all different. We all
Okay.
have different things about us that make us into our unique selves,
no,
right?
that's
Like,
what I
don't-
meant though. Like you inspired me to. I'm gonna go back on how I started because I used to not curse or be mean about things, but over the years playing with like McConnell was like, you need to curse more. It's cooler. So I started cursing, and I've had a foul mouth these days. But I think when I come back, I'm gonna try better to not like say mean things or curse. I'm gonna watch my language and tone, and I would hope like my community does the same, right? Because if I'm a bad mouth, my whole community is gonna mimic that in some ways, and it's been like that. So
Yeah, and I think like authenticity is a huge part of it. Like
Mm.
everyone is their own unique person. You know, I'm not trying to like necessarily say like you have to be like this or like that, but for me, like I grew up with no cursing in the household, and my son was born, and I wanted to have a similar thing where it's like, all right, no cursing in the household. And to be honest, like all through my gaming like era, I was like cursing online because it's what gamers did, and I was like cursing, and because that's like, you know, that's just how you speak, and that was like arena lingo.
yeah.
Like with my family and stuff, I wouldn't. Or,
Oh,
like,
I wouldn't either. It was just on.
yeah, like with friends and stuff, like here and there, but like not to
Right.
the degree. So I was like, why am I forcing myself to do this to fit in with online gaming culture if that's not even like who I am in real life? Like,
Exactly.
doesn't make any sense. So, and plus my son is being born and like he's running around. So I was like, I don't want that going around. So, so there was like reasons behind it to where it made sense for me. But anyway, I don't ever want someone to think like better or worse. I think we're all different humans, different experiences, this and that.
Yeah,
so,
no, you're right. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, in my context of my mind, like, I want that too. Like, I'm just like you, where I'm saying it because it's like funny and online. Like, if you drop it, it means it's harder, like bigger impact in words, right? So I say it, but I wouldn't like normally curse a lot. So I do want to change that, and it's a good thing. That's what I want, right? And that's what I meant in the better ways.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. Next question. What scares you?
I'm really not the guy that gets like, I'm not an anxious guy, like for the most part. Like very rarely just feel like just randomly anxious about stuff. Here and there I do, but like I don't really like perseverate on things that freak me out. Sharks are freaky for real, but I just avoid the ocean. That's good. Like they just stay there, I stay here, and as long as I don't go in the water, it's pretty much a 0% chance I ever get attacked by a shark. So I'm good at that. But like, yeah, no, on a real note, like I think I would like being a dad. I think anything that would hurt my family is like the scariest possible thing, you know. But I don't know. I'm a man of faith, so I don't like feel like as if like no matter what happens, I feel like I'm taken care of, and in that sense, I'm not like too deeply like scared of anything, because it's like, well, I mean, we're all gonna die.
Yeah.
It's getting really philosophical too. Sorry, geez.
I love it.
But like, you know, that to me, it's like, I don't know if there's anything that's like super like deeply scary in that sense. It's like, well, that's what's gonna happen there. Like, so yeah, it's kind of where I'm at.
All right. Last questions are, at some point, if you do retire, I don't know if you are or not, but when you retire, what do you hope for people to remember about Zaryu?
Oh wow, yeah, jeez. So I mean, one day I'll retire. There's no way I'm gonna be a live streamer at like 90. You know, so at some point I'll retire. I actually don't know when. Funny enough, when I started streaming, like I said, it was more just like for fun. I didn't necessarily think this is gonna be a career or a job. I definitely didn't think it'd be a career. I was like in college. I was like, I'm gonna do this for fun, and then just kind of kept going and going and going, and like, you know. So, if you asked me in 2012 would I be streaming in 10 years, I would say like, no way. And if you asked me in 2016 if I'd be streaming 10 years, I'd say like, no way. And now if you ask me in 2026 if I'll be streaming in 10 years, I'm like, huh, you know, maybe I will, you know, like I would have said no, but now that I've been doing it so long, like maybe. It's like the Lindy effect, if you've heard of that. It's like things that have lived longer have a higher probability of living longer. Things that are living shorter have a higher probability of dying sooner. But anyway, like I think like yeah, maybe. I think here's the real answer. The way in which I stream will continue to change. The way in which I create content will continue to change. When I was younger, it was about competitive PvP and rank 1 titles. As I got older, I started streaming only 6 days a week when I got married. And then when I had my son, it was 5 days a week. I think as I get older, it might shift in like the format, the time constraints, right? Things will probably change. The content itself will probably change to my current passions. So I think that the whole thing will continue to shift and evolve with time. So I don't think it would necessarily be like a hard just, oh, I'm retiring and doing something else. It would probably be, this thing will continually shift and change based on how my life shifts and changes. Yeah.
And when you are like fully gone, if you are gone, what would you want the people to remember you as, Zaryu?
I think I think I would want someone to remember me as just someone who, you know, we played games and had a good time, and maybe I helped someone get through something hard, a hard patch of their life, and they needed something that was consistent. They needed something that they could tune in to every night because they needed to turn their brain off from real life for a second. And they needed to tune in every day to something consistent and to think of, oh, man, we had a really fun time when I was going through something tough. And that would be cool. Like if someone remembered me for that, like that would be really cool. Like, cause that's kind of like the whole goal of like, if I can help someone either maybe live a healthier life or maybe even not. Like I talk about health and fitness quite a bit on stream, but even if it's just like positive mental attitude, or even if it's just like a positive gaming sphere, positive gaming environment that they could tune into every day because they're just going through something, or even maybe that positivity didn't even stick out. Maybe it was just like, I want to watch this idiot die in hardcore, you know, and they had a good time watching me, you know, try in hardcore for a month or two straight. So I think that's really it. Like if I could help someone do something else and get through something, I think that would be like pretty cool to be remembered as that. But yeah, I think that answers that.
Cool. Well, Zar, thank you so much for your time and being the first guest. It was an honor talking to you. Learned a lot. That was super fun. Maybe we'll have it again in Classic Plus.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me, man. Like when you reached out, I was like, yeah, like dude, talk to Savix for a while. Like, yeah, let's do this thing, man. So yeah, seriously, anytime, man. This is fun. This is fun.
Yo, my computer camera is broken, so I wanted to do a special ending for you guys. First of all, thank you so much for watching it all the way through. I do have a new cat, guys. His name is Scrunchy. And that guy is Juki. We got Mimi. We got Kiko. Yeah, 4 cats, that's a long story. Anyways, I have a special request for you guys. We're gonna have a tradition where I ask a question that you guys put in the comment for the next guest. And I'd like to have this trend going on until the end of the podcast. So you guys could do the honor of picking a question right now by typing in the comment section. Also, I do need a title for the podcast, so if you guys could help me cook up some good names, write that in the comment too. And I'll probably pick it over the next few videos. I want a lot of names to choose from, you know what I mean? Anyways, Scrunchy out.
Dobré, počurat oheň. Dobré ráno, dobré ráno. Kdy vidět, že už není víkend, je úterý vlastně, on byl prodloužený víkend, nebo pondělí je dneska, já teďka nevím. Každopádně spoustu lidí z nás od nás se odpojilo a my teďka pokračujeme směr o Lidské hory, protože včera celý Adršpach paráda. A no, dneska máme v plánu pohodový den, málo kilometrů jenom, včera jsme dali 35. Nebo my jsme včera byli vlastně rozděleni na 3 skupinky, tak ta naše skupinka dala 35, ale i ostatní dali jako dost nad 20. Každopádně zítra pro nás čeká 50 kiláků, nebo minimálně jsem to tady zaslech, jaká bude realita, to nevím. Uvidíme, každopádně dneska si jdu užít pohodový den.
No, musím natočit, jak jsme to tady krásně uklidili. Paráda. Dřevo jsme nechali. No, a kolik nás je? Málo nás je. Nás je tak 20 teď. Musel jsem
I need to go bio. Be right back. Tady pojď lumpy. Hop. Huh. I should grab a drink, I guess. Oh. Okay, we need to find the crashed Zeppelin. Grab the C4M booster from the crate. And then I'm gonna go and kill Deadmire. I have my retaliation up. So I should be able to farm up some rage, grab a shield, sunder him and kill him. The classic tactic. So, now I just need to find him. What's that? Fade leaf. I do indeed want fade leaf. There it is. $269, almost 270. 1 minute physical damage dealt is reduced by 20. 10, 20. Oh, I need to kill these as soon as possible, otherwise they're gonna 40! Okay. So, dead mire. Oh, this is the hot Zulfarak quest. Do I want to pick up Zulfarak quest already? I guess it's fine since I'm here.
Light be with you.
Blade shoulders guaranteed. So where do I find him? I'm trying to farm up some rage now. But where is he? Shows me that I'm too far south. But I don't really like the current questy map. It doesn't... I don't feel like it shows you where you could meet Deadmire properly. It does go somewhere around here. He does walk here.
Greetings. Go with honor.
Anyways, I'm gonna be flying around and I'll do it off stream. So thank you for watching. If there's anything I'm going to do, I'm going to run around to do this, go to Thunderbluff, there, Booty Bay, Gromgo, and then I will very likely fly all the way up to Hinterlands. So this is like an hour of just traveling, doing nothing. I'm gonna go do something fun, not sure yet. Maybe I could do the ogres, start Feralas a bit, but I'll see about that.